Hello and welcome to a GBR 2v2 on the map Risen Temple. Risen Temple is a map that I recently created within the last week or so when searching for 4 versus 4 games on my high level account. It sometimes takes a while, so between watching TV programs and such on the side, I decided I need something slightly more to do with my time, and I decided to get working on a melee map, and this is it. Although there will be a little promotional trailer that should have been uploaded before this, so you can have a little sneak peek and obviously take a look for yourself. I'm going to be commentating on this. It will help, obviously, if I had full visions, then I could show you the creeps and all of that. But as the game goes through and on, I will discuss this. So basically this map is a somewhat take on Twisted Meadows, and I'm not sure what the other map would be like. It's kind of Twisted Meadows slash Lost Temple a little bit. I didn't want a fountain. I was tempted to put a fountain in the middle, but I didn't want one in the middle. This is as balanced as it can be, this map. I'm very, very OCD with making everything identical to a degree. I roughed up the edges a little bit, so roughed up the trees a little bit so it isn't exactly identical. But for the most part, everyone has pretty much the same amount of trees and the same sort of positions, the same sort of spaces between the expansions and the gaps. So, like I say, we'll just focus on the players because there's not much to see creep-wise at this moment. So we've got Bomb, and he, I believe, is teamed up with Mir. So Bomb and Mir, Undead and Orc versus Albert. Doing his... See, you can do your block off here, so it is balanced. It is accurate to how a map should be. You should be able to block off accurately. I hope so anyway. I could when I did it. And they are double human, 0-1 and Albert. So the distances between the players on this map are quite fair as well. I made it so that you're not too far away from your opponents, but at the same time you're close enough that you can have interaction and harass going down. And in between each base is this higher ground area where valuable resources can be purchased from a shop, or on the other end you've got the mercenary camp. So some pretty useful things there. And you've got the goblin labs behind the players' bases, but you have to go onto the lower ground through the water to get to it. So you can't straight up go there and get sappers and blow up someone's base. It's going to take you a while to get around, but there's the option there for that kind of sneaky harass. So you really need to keep an eye on a lot of things. Now, Albert's choosing to take the green camps on the right hand side, or rather his side of the map, which you can do. I made it so that you have the option where you can go through the middle, and in the middle there's a chance for a tome to drop off each one and a level 1 permanent item off the orange camps, or you can do the outsides. And Bomb's got the harass going down on the Archmage already. So these guys are deciding to opt for the outside, which is an interesting choice. They're not going for the middle because they're not sure about the middle, but it's pretty much the same sort of deal. You've got green spots and orange spots that are easy to do from the very start of the game in the middle, or you've got the green spots on the side closest to yourself, which is technically safer to do, and an expansion as well that is doable, but it isn't too easy. You can't clear it straight away, but you should be able to militia creep it, but it's going to take some effort to actually pull it off. I don't like things being too easy for players. I want them to actually earn it. It's doable, but you've got to actually earn it. So there's a little bit of attack going on over here. Mir's up in 0-1's base. He's trying to get the militia up in this. He's got a paladin so he can keep his units alive a little bit, take down the skeletons, get the experience, but Bomb's also in the base, killing the arcane tower that might have been going up potentially, and there's no more arcane tower anymore, so this is a very awkward spot for 0-1. Meanwhile, Albert's enjoying his slippers of agility. I hope that was worth it, Albert. But that's the thing. With this map, it's not like... it's harder to get into new maps. And I have this fear a little bit. I wanted to make this anyway, and you can enjoy this yourself if you go to the... there'll be a download link for this map, and you can play this yourself if you want and have a go. As far as I'm concerned, it is up to basically Blizzard standards. Now, I'm not saying it's as good as a Blizzard map or anything like that. All I'm saying is it is completely and utterly balanced. It's properly decorated. It's properly presented. Everything has been taken accounted for. I've taken account for everything in terms of races and such. I've made sure to put down little critters that the undead can kill for skeletons. Every little detail has been basically thought of and taken into account. So yes, you can look at this map and play it as though you would any other normal Blizzard map. It's all balanced as well in terms of the items that drop. In fact, it might be somewhat a tiny bit nerfed. I wouldn't say nerfed as such as there's a lot of tomes, so I like to make it fun in that sense. But the tomes are only level 1, so if you wanted the potential, you could tome up a little bit. He's doing a little tower push up here. You could actually militia creep these spots, but in terms of 1 versus 1 situations or 2 versus 2 situations, this is the kind of map where it's very important to keep an eye on what your enemy is doing all the time, because they can potentially, human in particular, can get away with a few good militia creep camps, but if the enemy are on top of it and harassing, it's going to be difficult. Now in comes the Blade Master, who hasn't got very much to show for himself apart from a couple of grunts, and he's going to have to deal with this pretty full-on rush here with the Albert Einstein and his Fire Lord. The peasants are building the towers, the footmen have got defend. Excuse me, I couldn't hold that one down, and there's a Shadow Hunter coming out from the Altar of Storms. Bomb is trying to take off or pick off any peasants that he can do in between this. Mayor needs to get over there quick. Fiends are going to help a lot. Albert is on his own. He hasn't got 0-1 with him, so I don't think this is going to last very long. Obviously, Albert wants to try and fulfill this out, but this isn't a 1 versus 1. This is a 2 versus 2. And right now, he's in a 1 versus 2. So I don't think he's going to last too long at this point. He had a good effort there. Mer needs to keep that DK back, and the Fiends are all healthy and they can stay up in the fight, but they can't do very well against the footmen, so they want to possibly take down the lava spawns or the water elementals whilst trying to avoid the footmen's as best as possible. Albert's really trying to keep this guard tower up. He's currently able to do so despite the harass from the Shadow Hunter and the Blade Master, and the DK goes down. Last little jab there from Albert, so he's doing a good job here on his own. 0-1 freaking creeping down here, the Goblin Lab. You should get a pretty good item from this, but I've made sure that all the items, you don't get any super items, Circlet of Nobility, things like that. It's kind of a reasonable item. It may be a little bit lower than you might expect. There's always the possibility that I could boost up the items, but one of my fears is because this is a map that's pretty creep heavy, I've made it so that you've got a lot to do on the map and you're not going to be too bored. But at the same time, it isn't too sort of overloaded with creeps. Because the issue I had was when I was starting to dish out items and what items would drop off the creeps, I wanted to make sure that you couldn't really get, like, you know, Boots of Agility, like 2 lots of those, and Book of the Dead and all that kind of really good items too easily, which you can potentially if you get focused on creeping. So things like that need to be taken into account. I'm going to be using that word a lot now, apparently. Once you start using the word in commentating, it seems to get used all the time. But that's something I can work on. This is the first playthrough of this map. No one has actually seen this map. I've basically made this from scratch, and no one has really touched this map apart from Thomas has seen a sort of beta version of it, and it wasn't decorated or anything like that at this point. So this is all down to pretty much I'm the only person that's seen this map. And here comes 0-1 coming through, keeping this harass going. Mir's Fiends are getting a little bit knackered, but they're still going, they're still chasing. Shadow Hunter and Blade Master still doing the job by themselves. Level 3 Blade Master is slightly getting a little bit weak now. He needs to back off, but he's pretty strong for the time being. Get a healing salve and bring him back into the fight. Mir's looking for the opportunity to pick off rifles, and he's doing a good job. Albert's got this guard tower just started, but it's not going very far. We've got Albert Einstein also bringing back his Fire Lord. He's not got much wood in his base, so he's going to be suffering for that. He needs more peasants. Blade Master getting all of his health back. Mir trying to survive with these Fiends that are also going to be surrounded a little bit by 0-1. Oh, the water tilting. That's just the way it kind of went. I understand that, but it is what it is. But it is pure balanced. It just looks a bit odd, that bit, I admit. But that's just the way it went for some reason. I can't change that, I don't think. But I'm not too fussed to change something like that because it's such a minor little detail. I'd rather get the balance sorted. To be honest, if that's what you're complaining about, I'm not going to argue. That's such a tiny thing to complain about. But here we go. Anyway, 0-1 still hanging in there with the rifles. Albert Einstein needs to get level 3. Needs some beastie water elementals because that one is looking a little bit, well, not so threatening at the moment. He's just kind of getting away with attacking things, but no one cares about it. Mir must be on his level 3 DK at least, because that was a powerful call. No, yes he is. Okay, I was going to say, no, how the hell did he nuke that Archmage down? Oh my. 2 versus 1. Yes, Albert's enjoying 0-1's team play. I can see this much. Oh dear, this has been going on a while. This is a good little fight. I like this. I like the fact that they can fight like this for so long, and they can keep this going. They're using the scenario, the surroundings. You've got the hill to run to here if you want higher ground, or if you want to run straight back down potentially, or around here. You can go almost any angle, and it will lead to somewhere new. It's kind of fun like that. I wanted to keep the map as open as possible, so it's not too linear. You have lots of options, and you're not going to be particularly punished whichever option you take. You're going to be equally kind of rewarded. Firelord is not in a good spot right now. The Holy Light was definitely needed there, but the Firelord does not do well when he gets focused. There isn't another Windwalk, so the Blade Master can't get past the awkward path in there. So it looks like Firelord will be able to sneak away a little bit. Mer's got a lot of Fiends now, and they've got a bit of Spirit Link on them, so they're pretty much easily going to push this off now. They've hung in this long, so they'll have back off, or there'll be a bit of Rage Quit going on. But it's definitely in Bombs and Mir's favour at the moment. Ooh, there's a cancel. Oh, I think Albert's going to start throwing down the smack talk, which is what we all like to see. So these little guys, if you kill the level 3 ones, he'll drop a level 1 tome, so you can sort of farm it a little bit with your level 1 Blade Master or something, and potentially get a Tome of Agility, that kind of thing. Have some fun with that. Or you can get a level 1 permanent item from the middle creep, but he has slow, so there's things like that. I always wanted to put these creeps in. I didn't just mindlessly put creeps down. I really thought about how it looked like the Ensnare killed the Firelord. No, I really thought about how these creeps are going to react, what they should drop, and what they're worth. You know, how much effort have you put into killing that creep? Should you be rewarded? I think the Circlet of Nobility for killing the large turtle might be a little underwhelming, so I could potentially change that. So by the time you download this map, I might actually make a few changes, because this is being played today at the moment, which is Thursday, but this is going to be uploaded for you, which will be today for you, but it will be Friday. That's the aim. But Albert's done a bit of Rage Quit, so if we can get another game going, maybe I can get some more play testing and just tweak it a little bit, because the map is as good as finished, but little things like that I noticed. I don't like the Circlet of Nobility on that big turtle, but at the same time the turtle's in a safe spot. It's right behind your base, so it's very easy to creep without being punished. For the most part, it's unlikely, so I don't want it to be a really good item. So maybe a level 3 item instead of a level 2 item, but the level 3 charge item instead of a level 3 permanent item. I don't know, I'll have to think about that. Little things like this sort of go around in my head as the map gets played out. So hopefully there'll be more games, and I might add them to this video or keep them separate. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll sign this off now. Please subscribe, like, and comment. I'll see you later. Okay, hello. This is another GBR 2 versus 2. Risen Temple is the map, and I'm going to be playing this time along with Albert, and it's the same team on the enemy team. It's Bomb and Mir. So let's see. Looks like I've been given human. I selected random. I'm going to have a bit of human going down. And obviously it's double human because Albert's picked human as well.
Yes, me lord. All right, ready to work. What is it?
And away we go. Okay, so we can definitely get a fast expand here, because there's both of us as humans, so there's a very strong possibility. This is, I think, a slightly human-favoured map, but really the key is from the enemy's point of view, or, you know, the race that isn't human, is to keep an eye on the human. That's the thing. Human are very strong, but if you keep them in check, then you can stop them from getting out of control. They're quite fragile. The distances between the enemies are pretty similar to a map like Twisted Meadows, which is what I wanted to make sure. I went onto those maps. I sort of took, for example, a human. Militia rushed at the start and timed it, sort of how long it takes for the militia to get to like the enemy base, and it's basically almost on the same level. It's a little bit different, But it looks closer than it is, and it is pretty close. But if you did the same and rushed from Twisted Meadows up here to your opponent here, which you'd probably be like about here and there, it would take you the same distance to basically get from there to there. So it's quite easy to think that the map might be out of whack, but it's actually all taken into account. God, I'm never going to stop saying that. Because I can't think of another word. That's why. It's always going to be my go-to word. So we got my guys on the farm, the mine. I hope that's right. That is the right starting position. That should be accurate. Yes. I think 5 peasants is right there. Okay. I feel like I'm a little bit low on gold, so maybe it is wrong. I've got to keep an eye on that. I'm sure that's quite right. The gold mine's not close enough in this position. That would be silly, because I've definitely put it as the map allowed me to do it. So that's another thing I'll have to test. Can't be having that, to be honest. Archmage will be out soon. If I get a Blade Master in my base, I'm just going to have to handle it.
Ready for action now. What is it? Yes, my lord.
Require my assistance?
Say the word. Ready to work. What do you need?
Right, now this is interesting. You can either come from this end and it's open, or this bit's a bit more blocked. This is kind of a tricky creep camp though. I didn't make it easy, and I've not really tested this before. Well, I have tested it a little bit. But you want to kill the guys at the back, to be honest. But the guys at the front are your most annoying ones. Let's see how we get on. Can a human do this? Should be able to do this quite manageably. Because they're not too tough. They don't deal out too much DPS. So you can handle it. How long will my militia last? They've got a little bit longer to go. Frost armor's very annoying, but it's just a nuisance. So this is what I mean. You can sort of harass a human that's trying to fast creep this. There's a lot of tomes in this map, I will be honest, but they're like level 1 ones, so you can't get too out of control. And now I'm left with my footies, Archmage, to basically finish off the big guy. I probably should have gone for him first, but it's a little awkward with the position. Now I can either build my town hall here and have it kind of on the side, or have it in the open area, so it's really up to your choice. That wasn't a nuisance. May as well bring down the acolyte as fast as possible. And that should go down.
On my way.
Stop there. Stop.
Yes, my lord.
Oh, okay, that is pretty annoying. You definitely got to kill the big guy first. So once you get used to it. Oh man, that's harsh. Okay, well I'm going to have to take this. And then kill the little skeletons. In fact, probably take these guys back. Come back.
Off I go then.
Get that going. Make sure we get the skeletons down. Because they're just going to mess up because of all the corpses. It's definitely tricky, but you've obviously got to go for the big guy in this situation.
Well, what is it? Yes, my lord.
There's potential to sort of hide around.
Yes, my lord. Well,
Keep an eye on that then.
say the word. What is it now? Ready to work. Well, what is it now? What?
Should be time.
Yes, my liege. What is it now? More work. I can build them. Right. Ready for action. Orders. What do you need? Say the word.
And let's finish this off, shall we?
Our forces are under attack.
Yes, I should probably tech.
Say the word. What is it?
That's definitely messed me up a little bit at the start.
What? All right. What do you need? Yes, my liege.
And the fiends are starting to get out of control now, so he's going to have a lot more control. So just got to keep an eye on that.
What do you need? What is it now? Yes, my liege.
Always keep the footmen back and try and damage the Death Knight.
Well,
You require my assistance?
what is it now?
And there's ensnare there, so I could abuse that.
What is it now? All right. Well, what is it now?
Okay.
Yes, what is it? Yes, more work.
You require my assistance?
Well,
And now I've got the high ground to harass him. So there's little things like this you need to take into account. Ooh. Bit the old lag for me. Good time, me. Oh dear. Looks like I get a free fiend. Or at least this creep camp. Nope. He's still hanging in there. Alright, I better try and kill this before he gets back. Especially whilst it's running back. These guys heal. Try and focus him down. Oh my god. But he can't see the upper ground until he gets up there, so I should be able to finish it off before it gets coiled. Potion of Greater Mana, let's have some of that. And snare going down. The epic fight continues between this area. Gotta keep just going at the moment. And I'm gonna send a militia up to the top bit as well to scout. Looks like they did fast expand, so he was right about that. Can I get a Merc? Oh, I love the Murgles, but I can't get the good ones yet, and I want those. Mer's obviously on the right hand side, so I'm gonna come harass his base whilst this is going down.
Require my assistance.
Attack!
Might be able to get a couple there. If I can get both the cigarettes, that'd be nice. Very nice indeed. Okay. Let's get me a level 3 Archmage, please. Get a quick kill on something, for God's sake. I want a level 3 water element, level 2 water elemental. I'm not going to get it now, am I? It's just not enough damage at the moment. Trying to kill the footman. Where's my level frickin' 3?
I can hardly wait.
Give me level 3. For God's sake. Right, that's it. I'm going straight for the Acolyte. Fuck this shit. Mountain King should have been rallied better. Give me a frickin' level 3! Oh my god, it's so hard. There we go. I've been waiting like 6 years for that. If that came a lot quicker, that would have been a lot easier. May as well try and keep up the harass here. They're TPing in. Try and kill whatever acolytes I can whilst I'm hanging about. Get one, please. Mountain King's still stuck, so I'm going to have to chop him out of space to get out. The epic fight continues. Albert's poor panda. Poor panda. There's no acolytes at the back here, so he's definitely suffered. I think now's a good time to get back. Pushed our luck a little bit there, but I think we're in full control at this point. Can I get out on my own base? Yes, I can. Nice. So the base kind of works. You have to build a little bit on the outside, so it's a bit risky, but you have got these trees to kind of protect you. So I don't want this to be identical to other maps, so it's got to have its own sort of bonuses, but at the same time flaws that make it sort of, you know, change how you play the game. But not in so much so that you actually, you know, you miss out on opportunities, sort of thing. This big guy drops a good item. Well, I say good item. A lot of the items are nerfed, so that's what I mean. Let's get a tech going. Got loads of wood and all that coming through now. Corrective vitality. So I think it needs to be kind of balanced because you can fast creep these spots. I wanted to make sure that it isn't too overpowered for people. Oh god, that merc camp. I want that merc camp now. Let's get boost of speed or something for you. Make you nice and strong. So he can't press too easily into my base. Spell breakers makes it very hard for him to harass as well.
Get on with it.
Can't coil that, baby. And I'm going to get myself the Murgle Snapper thing in a moment. Because he's really good. And that's going to put me over upkeep, so that will do what it will do. And I'll get some Sorks and we'll go put some more pressure in the main. Has he got the Frost Worms down yet? Looking for option to try and get surround on Myr. There it is. But he can always TP out. This is going to put him into a troubled spot though, because I'll get another... Oh, he did get to the back.
The Blood Elves await thirst for
The Mercs make this kind of interesting as well.
watch and learn.
This is a very difficult spot for him to be in. Not the best spot for me though either.
Is mana.
Should be able to take that boneyard down if I can freaking get in that base. Albert's going casters as well, so I'm going to have to swap to something different. I think Myr is definitely about to lose. Damn. He will die. He will go down. I will take you down. Can we get an Acolyte kill? Mountain King has invulnerability in case he needs it. I think I should just get back now. I think I pushed it far enough. Lost quite a lot actually, more than I realised. There we are, I can just about reach that.
Brilliant! Put him away! Wait till you see me in action! What is it now? Give me some!
I see magic in the air.
Job's done.
What is it now?
Job's done. Yes, me lord.
Get on with it!
You can open up your own backyard as it were. You need to control how you creep the wood though, because that's going to determine how the enemy can harass you as well. So you need to take all those kind of things into account. I should really get some knights or something.
Well?
Problem with us both being humans, we both want to go the caster's route. Oh, poor Myr. Your connection, eh? What is it like?
Get on! Require my assistance?
Time to get some farms down a little bit. Doesn't look good, does it? Okay.
More work. Right.
What is it now? What?
I thirst for magic.
Well?
Search complete.
Wait till you see me in action! What is it now? Give me some!
Gotta take the big guy down first. That's the lesson to be learned.
Wait till you see me in
He's quick enough to kill, so he's not too big an issue to kill.
I'm coming through!
The Blood Elves await.
Put him away!
Kill these guys as well because they cast frost armor all over the place. So really, you have to know what you're doing, and that's the same for all maps. No one knew exactly how to play Twisted Meadows or Echo Isles or whatever it was
What is it?
straight off the bat.
Get on! What is it?
Get on with it.
Well?
I thirst for magic. Get on with it.
Job's done.
I'm gonna sneak around the back,
Yes, me lord. Off I go then.
get Sept and maybe harass, but he's got all those towers, so it's kind of hard.
Blood elves await.
More work.
I
Righto.
await
Yes,
your
me
command.
lord.
Well,
Wait till you see me in
action. What is it now?
The blood elves
For
await.
glory!
Research complete.
Hasn't got tier 3 yet. He's probably pulling all gold to bomb, so we need some solid tanks. Or spell breakers. Well, actually, slow would be quite good. Shit, I didn't want to cancel that one. Got the wrong hotkey on that. Your Ring of Protection 2 is just too weak. I'll have to change that.
Where do you want? Require
Be
my
quick.
assistance.
Time is mana.
I laugh in the face of danger.
Our allies' hero has fallen.
Got it.
Job done.
What is it now? Get on.
This is going to be very annoying harass. Although the Frostworm being there is pretty annoying for me. Yeah, this is a bad spot to be in.
Are you threatening me?
Don't get webbed.
Full speed.
Oh my god, it got webbed. Time to TP out.
Well,
That's not going to go well.
require my assistance.
I await your command.
I can hardly wait.
Get on.
Get down, Sparky.
Perfect.
This shouldn't be a red camp. Well, it's basically a very light red
What
camp,
is it?
this area.
Off I go then.
Very light.
All right.
You require my assistance.
It does drop a good item though.
Allies' town is under siege.
Well,
Go buy a TP before you forget.
The flows about
Yes,
to
me
be
lord.
today.
More work. What is it?
you require my assistance. What is it now? Well, you require my assistance.
Our allies' town is under siege.
Whatever.
What?
Off I go then. All right.
Our forces are under attack.
Oh shit. What's going on here? Oh, auto attack. I did try to make it so that the creeps don't aggro so easily.
Our allies' town is under
What is it?
siege.
You require my assistance.
Should really TP into that.
Our forces are under
Get
attack.
down, Sparky.
Get on.
Help me. Help you.
You
Do
require
you
my
require
assistance.
Our allies'
Listen.
town is under siege. At once. Your honor.
Get on.
help you?
On with it. Command me.
Abbott looks like he's pretty much lost everything there.
Is it now?
Wait till you see me in action.
Or do I just keep attacking?
Our allies' hero has fallen.
Nah. Okay.
Yes, me
Our
lord.
allies'
Let's go for an
town is
expansion
under
here then.
siege.
And control this side of the map.
More work.
What is it?
Wait till you see me in action.
Do you require aid?
Yes, my blood elves await.
What
Help
is
me.
it? Well,
Our allies' town is under siege.
It's only one Frosty.
Aye. Our gold mine is running. Wait till you see me in action. Get on with it.
What, you can still TP? I suppose so.
Brilliant.
you
Wait
require
till you see me in action. Move it. Brilliant.
Get on.
Get down, Sparky.
Not got a particularly strong army to deal with this.
For the king.
Get on.
Shit. I fucking used the item! Oh my god, my hotkeys didn't do it. Oh well, that's GG. That's very annoying. Just not strong enough at this point. Oh, and the Archmage got nuked. Those are powerful.
Help me.
These tanks aren't much good in this fight. They are not much good in this fight at all. Shouldn't probably have TP'd. Should have just left it go. Oh well, that's pretty bad. Tanks are off on a new adventure then.
Magic in the air. The blood elves. Our forces are under attack.
Mass spell breakers, methinks.
Our allied town is under siege.
Be quick. Time is mana.
Do you require aid, human?
Go with the Sork and put slow on everything there. Try and get a tank back or two. I don't think these are going to be too productive, these tanks. So I'm going to split them.
Our forces are under attack.
Oh crap.
Get on with it.
Didn't know he's in my base.
Our town is under siege.
I'm not ready for this. You need more wood.
Our forces are under attack.
At least Archmage will be back soon. I'll have something.
Our town is under siege.
I thirst for magic. I smell magic.
Our forces are under attack.
What? Yes, my lord. What? Righto. Yes, my lord.
Our allies' town
Take
is
the
under
blood
siege.
elves away.
Well?
Our forces are under attack.
What is it?
Thank God for that.
Our allies'
Level
town
6,
is
and I got my tanks. Oh, that's why you get the They've still got a very strong army, so I might need to back out of this.
Get on with
Or at
it.
least try and get another angle.
What is it now?
Our forces are under attack.
Require my assistance?
Ugh.
I can hardly wait.
I thirst for magic. Be quick.
Well?
Time is mana.
What is it now? Well?
Thirst for magic.
Our town under attack.
Be quick.
Well?
Time is mana.
Brought out this hero. Mine should be back soon though.
Smell magic.
What is it?
The blood elves be quick.
Well?
Time is mana.
Look!
Our town is under attack. Your honor.
Get on with it.
Have at thee.
Easily done.
Require my assistance?
There's the focus. Just waiting for that.
The blood
Gotta
elves
keep back at all
Yes,
costs.
get on with it.
Well?
The blood
They got
elves
quite a lot. Just frosting over me and kill me though.
Under attack.
Look!
I smell magic in the air.
Well? All right.
Coming back round. Oh, Mountain King's out. Mountain King's out. That's what we're waiting for.
Our allied hero has fallen.
Oh shit. Mountain King's now in trouble.
Our forces are under attack. Sire?
Wait till you see me attack. What is it? Well?
Oh,
Get on.
messy fight.
Not enough.
The tanks managed to. I mean, how much gold did that cost?
Will it be hot?
Did she deal with the slow yet?
Once again,
Ah.
to Phoenix. If
She
we
can't do it.
insist. What a good idea.
Require my assistance?
Our forces are under attack.
Require my
Our gold mine is running low. Our allied town is under siege.
Get on. Well? Get on.
Ah, gotcha.
I smell magic.
Wait till you see me attack. Put him away. What is it? Aye. Well?
Why aren't you using the item? Oh, I know why my hotkeys are bugged. That's why it didn't work.
Be quick. Time is mana.
GG.
Very
Hotkeys bugged. That is really why it didn't work. The first time I wasn't sure, but now I know.
get on with it.
When I press F1, it should do the job. F1 did not do the job. Bugged. That is fucking owned. That is a huge game costing bug right there. Oh my.
On with
Oh my indeed. The game costing bug is a little too much. Right, okay, well let's go back to the tavern and get Mountain King back. And I'm gonna fucking change these hotkeys now. Whilst this is going on, because that fucked me hard. I wondered why that wasn't working. I was like, F1 on the Mountain King, F1 on the Mountain King, F1 on the Mountain King. Didn't do shit. Did not do shit. It just basically brought up my hero, but it wasn't doing anything more than that. So that was freaking absolutely insane. He's got loads of gold,
Yes, me lord.
so he needs to use it.
What? Our allies' town is under siege. Work. Ready to work. Command me.
I smell magic in the air.
More work. Ready to work.
Be quick. Time is mana.
More lumber is required. Ready to work. What is it? Yes, my lord. What? More lumber is required.
Need wood like mad.
What is it? Our forces are under attack.
I thirst for magic.
Our gold mine has collapsed. What? What is it? More work.
Gold mine
Blood
collapsed.
elves await.
Ready to work.
Hey, Archmage is back.
Thirst for magic.
I'm just going to get killed in a second if he gets blocked anymore.
Get on with it. Thirst for magic.
All right.
Require my assistance.
Be quick.
Yes,
Time
me lord.
is mana.
Right.
Well,
Leave it to me.
what is it now?
Get on with it.
Get on with
Our town is
Oh,
under siege. What is it? Yes, me lord. Off I go
it.
then.
Well,
Be quick. The time is mana.
Our forces are under attack.
you require my assistance.
Get on with it. The blood elves be quick. Time is mana.
Ready to work.
I need my Mountain King before I can even face fighting that kind of thing.
You require my
Thirst for magic.
Yes, my lord.
what is it now?
The blood elves.
They're stronger than me in every way. I can't take that. I just cannot take it.
More work.
Cancel that shit. Get the Mountain King back already.
Are under attack.
Now I need more gold. I'm a tiny bit too short and I can't cancel anything for it. There we go. Very harsh. Waiting for heroes all game is pretty much game breaking.
What is it?
You require my
Our
assistance.
forces are under attack. Yes, me lord.
Get on.
What? Right.
What is it now? Whatever. Perfect.
Our town is
Well?
under siege.
What is it now?
What is it?
Get on with it. You
All
require
right.
my
So
assistance.
what?
I thirst for magic.
Wait till you see me in action.
The blood
Well?
elves await.
Get on.
Crap.
Wait till you see me in action.
What is it now?
I'm dead. I can't even get my Archmage spazzing back. GG. Oh, that went awful for me. That went so bad for me, that game. So bad. So very bad. Just, yeah, way too stronger heroes at the end of it. Couldn't compete with that. Having both my heroes die at that moment where I shouldn't have died because my hotkeys weren't working basically well and truly cost us the game. If I didn't die then, we were still in it and probably going to win it. But both my heroes died for free basically. I didn't kill anything and I was just going F1. No, not going to work. Okay, fair enough. Alrighty, so unfortunately my hotkey things do this. I don't know why. I really don't know why. This is the first thing I do before I load up Warcraft 3. I go to War Key, set that up, done. But for some reason, an hour or two into the game, it kind of just disappears. It was working. It worked in the game before. In the next game when you need it to work, and you think it's still working because it's lulled you into this, the thinking that it actually works, you go to use it, and nothing happens. And you're like, oh, I'm dead. Oh, right, cheers for that. And yeah, it fucks up. So you need to reboot it like every hour or two just to make sure that you don't get fucked over by it. So now it's rebooted, so at least I shouldn't get fucked over by it for the next hour or two, at least. Anyway, thank you very much for playing. That was good. Good game anyway. But please subscribe. I mean, got action-packed game, so that's pretty much what I'm after on that map. So there you go. Thanks for watching. This has been Witty. Please subscribe, like, and comment. I'll see you later. Hello, welcome to a GBR 1v1s now on Risen Temple. So it's between Granty and Albert Einstein. I believe it should be a best of 3. It's undead versus human. So Granty playing undead, Albert playing human. So they're in close proximity. There's only obviously a 1 in 4 chance that you actually, well, 1 in 3 chance I suppose, in terms of where you're going to spawn, because your opponent's always going to be here, for example, whereas you could be here, here, or here. So if you're quite far away, it is definitely going to change the way you play this game. But if you're close, there's quite a bit of potential for harass between the two players. Okay, so not too much to talk about at the start. I've already discussed this map quite a bit in the last few games, but let me think of any other spots. There's a number of red spots on the map, and it seems like a bit too much. That's the only thing I might say about this map. As there might seem like there's a few too many creep spots, and that was something I knew at the time I was doing, and I decided to carry on with it because, like I say, each map is supposed to have its own individuality. You can't make them all identical or too similar, because then what's the point? You need to have a little bit of difference, so that way it's actually more fun to play different maps. So yeah, there seems like quite a lot. There's so many options here to creep here. It almost sort of keeps the players from fighting each other if it wasn't for the fact that you are potentially quite close to your opponent. So there is always that option to basically to keep the interaction between the players as well. So if you're really opposite on the side of the map, it might become a creep heavy game, and then you might get higher levels and see how it goes. But yeah, most of the red spots you won't realistically be doing until you've got like level 5 heroes or something like that, or level 5, 4, maybe 5, 3, depending how well you're doing, 50 food, something like that. And you can comfortably do it, because you've got to remember that it's a 1 versus 1 scenario. You can't comfortably do red spots because your opponent could attack your base whilst you're doing it, and you're all weak and vulnerable, so you have to take all that kind of stuff into account. Looks like Albert's going to move back to the safer green spots, so it's very minimal chance of him getting harassed here by Granty whilst he's doing this. So skeleton rod time is not going to be easy over here. Granty going for the Fire Lord from the middle with the tavern, so that's pretty neat. We'll see what he does with that. He could get carried away if he did creep the middle spots, to be honest, because it's quite easy to move from bit to bit, to be honest. Should be a tome drop in soon, unless Albert already picked it up.
The town is under siege.
There it is, Manual of Health. Quite good actually, the tomes, but it is an investment of time when you're creeping, so you have to take that into account.
A player's forces are under attack.
That's another thing you need to take into account on this map, is the other maps don't do this so much. I don't have that many high ground and low ground points, but if you were fighting down here, you would have no vision above, obviously, unless you have map hack. But we're going to assume that you don't. And the same goes for when you go up this hill. You can't see anything above it, so you could be walking into a trap. So that's going to change how you play the game. Was that just a few ghouls killed there? How did those skeletons get there so quickly? How many times did he send ghouls down there? Anyway, we've got 1 foot. He's about to get screwed over by the Nerubian Tower and the Fire Lord to go with it. Albert, did he not finish off the creeps? There should be an item that drops from there. I'll have to keep an eye on that and make sure that the map has got all these things, but it should have it all. That would be quite bad as well. The tower took the kill. That's kind of unlucky. Looks like Granty is moving in for at least early game pressure, maybe slightly all in, because he's not familiar with the map. Or he could creep this spot. Is he moving back, or is he going all in? No, he's going for an item. So you can pick up items and then make your way to your opponent if you want to, depending on the time, obviously. Did he go? He didn't go for the boost of speed, but he got Staff of Teleportation in case he gets stuck with his hero. Albert hasn't got that many units, so he's going to have to back off a little bit. But he will have this tower coming up soon, which is not long until it's a guard tower. and he'll have the defense of his base, which is very difficult to breach at this point. Lava spawn, looking to get a shot in here without being hit at the same time. Back off, lava spawn being focused, so it kind of makes the Fire Lord a little bit useless. These ghouls, it's kind of hard to all in a human who's blocked his base on any map. So yeah. But he seems kind of persistent on attacking. We'll see how he gets on with that. One of the issues is, another issue you might have is that you run out of space to build. But this, by the time you've got to that point where you've got to tier 2, you should have enough space potentially opened up for more buildings. If not, you can always build them slightly outside your base and you're still kind of protected, like you could have seen in the last game. It still wasn't too hard to kill the buildings because you can't get a decent position. You need to, I don't know, it's just, it's all good. I think it's all good at the moment. I think this is more of a 2 versus 2 map, if I'm honest. But it is I mean, you can play it as a 1 versus 1, but you have to bear in mind that if it is 1 versus 1, there's a lot of creeps. And 2 versus 2 is like an evenish amount of creeps. And 1 versus 1, there's a lot. So that hasn't really stopped these players from basically getting up in each other's face and not creeping the map out. But if you did need to back off or something, or you were in that situation where you couldn't take your opponent on, but you need to sort of keep powering through, then you can always take the option to go for creeps. Here we go, the ghouls. He's still trying here, but it's not a good spot for him to be. The water elementals are actually massive more than the lava spawns are. Albert Einstein's going to lose a foot, but no, ghouls. Oh, Mountain King's out as well, so that's going to make it even trickier. So Grant, he definitely wants to back off. Not sure what he's going to move into because he hasn't got any tech going either. So this might be over for Granty at the moment, but he can always start another game if he wants to. There's a lot of corpses all over the place. This could be a graveyard. Arcane Sanctum coming up this side, opposite from the enemy, so it can't be easily picked off, but it's out of the way because you can't always easily get buildings inside your base. I find it's okay to build the blacksmith on the outside because that blacksmith doesn't normally get focused very easily, and all you need to do is specifically chop down trees. You can't really AFK your peasants so much in the trees like you can on other maps, and I think that's the kind of part of the game really, is you should be able to focus on what you're trying to achieve, such as deliberately controlling your peasants, your macro, your sort of base, which trees they're going for, just to give yourself enough space. If that's another part of the game, if you don't pay attention to that, then you could necessarily be punished for it. Not super punished for it, but it just means you have to build outside your base instead, which obviously carries more risks. So none of these creeps are particularly super hard, but they can be a little bit tricky. They're more focused on having a lot of health than anything else because of the potential to fast creep them with like militia or something like that. So that way, if they've got lots of health, it gives the opponent time to sort of get in there and stop the enemy from fast creeping it with militia, because it's not going to die too quickly. It gives the opponent a bit of time to realise, hang on a second, I think he's fast creeping that spot. Let's have a look. There's a lot of ghouls still for Granty. No upgrades for them. Double crypt, so he's going all out on the ghouls. He does like his ghouls. Level 2 Firelord isn't too bad. Level 3 Archmage though, and level 2 Mountain King is slightly better. But if he gets level 3 Firelord, he could start getting carried away. But he needs to do spots a little bit stronger than these green bits now. Because we're a little bit, like 5 minutes at least into the game, I think, at this point. So need to start moving on to stronger spots if they can do. Not sure where he's gone because he's got the cheat colour. It's hard to frickin' see. If you do range though, it's not too bad because you can stay on the upper ground and see what's coming behind you. But if you've got your ghouls in the mid ground, on the low ground rather, you can't see anything coming up from behind you. So there's lots of little things like that to take into account on this map. Where's the Firelord? There he is. He's like, what? I'm looking at the mini-map here. I still can't see him. It's only literally in his base. If I just do this and hold this button down the whole time, then I'll never lose track. But otherwise, he's always going to sneak away. Because it's so hard to keep an eye on dark green. Archmage. I don't like that formation. Take that off. That toggle formation, Albert. Take it off. Although sometimes it can work in your favour, I suppose. I've never used it myself. I'd rather manually micro them individually all the time than have them move smoothly and just assume that they're going to do their job. So this guy, you want to kill this guy very fast, just like on Murgle Oasis, which is one of the maps for 4 versus 4. Although they can go down pretty quickly. None of the mobs are particularly that tough, but they're there to kind of last or drag the fight out, which is kind of what I went for. Sounds a bit boring, but really it's more to inspire interaction between the players. Because like before, with this creep camp here, if they've got high health or they can drag the fight out a little bit, there's more chance for the other opponent to get there and then to have a little bit of a, you know, clash between the players. Oh, Granty is sneaking in here. And he's TPing in with both of his heroes to start for teleportation. That's a good way to try and sneak in there. Didn't quite work for the Dark Ranger, but it's okay. She's ranged. She can still hit from the outside. Albert's actually TPing on the outside, which is probably the best approach, but it means that he can't get inside of his base very easily. So it's kind of difficult, but at least he can get the rifles along this range to sort of try and pick off the ghouls. The ghouls aren't going to be in a good spot here. Albert's got a very strong, safe army, sort of clustered up, and the Mountain King throwing down Stomp as well. Not Stomp, rather. Thunderclap, should I say, is going to make it a little bit more nightmarish for these ghouls. Granty was going for this sort of like chance to maybe pull off a secret win here, but really he was down after that first attack, so his chances were limited, but there was always a chance that he could come back if he did some sort of all-in attack like this. Invisibility, and now you got to blame the map, so there we go. He gets to play it again now, maybe. We'll see. You can't get out. Invisibility doesn't last forever. More ghouls for Granty, and the Dark Ranger coming back, not really changing the strat out much. And these peasants, no wood for you. So there's no expansion. There's so many dead frickin' things around this town, this keep all the time. Yeah, there's not really meant to be that many road camps. I do think that, but it's just the way it works. Oh, he's actually going to get out. I'm surprised. Albert's now pressing the attack. I do have a day to change the map around a little bit. I'd rather not change the map too much, but I think the only thing that does need to change with the map... yeah, Mask of Death is possibly the creep camps. That's the only thing I could think. I've taken all that kind of stuff because I'm very OCD with that. Believe me, I'm one of the most OCD people in the world when it comes to sort of like having everything perfect. So I'd like to make sure that everything is as balanced as possible. I just can't make it too rough or anything like that, or give people too many chances to get lucky. I don't like that sort of stuff because I wouldn't want that happening in the game versus me. So that's the way I kind of see it, is I wouldn't want other people having that opportunity. That sounds like harsh, but it's not. It's the right thing to do, definitely. But I think this game is the first game. Hopefully, is over. But at least Granty's had a chance to see the map. Albert's obviously seen the map a couple of times now, so he's had time to adjust to it a little bit. There's not really much more to go here. Ah, there we go. There's a GG. I was going to say, how many units are you going to have left by the end of this? Alrighty. Okay, thank you all for watching. This has been Witty. Please subscribe, like, and comment. I'll see you later. Hello, welcome to the second game of the best of 3 between Granty and Albert's Undead versus Human on Risen Temple. So, throughout these games we've seen quite a bit of a beta testing, as it were. Although hopefully when you get your mitts on the game, on the map, when you want to play it, if you want to play it, it's going to be available for download. So it should be basically changed. It'll be a little bit different to what you see now, but pretty much the only thing that's going to change so far, as far as I'm concerned, are the creep camps. I want to change things up. Maybe remove a couple. It did feel a bit bare though. That was the kind of issue. That's why I kind of added as many creep camps as I did. It's not, they're not, it's literally on the verge. I mean, if you had it where, say, this is your bar, I don't know, if I hold this up or something, this is your bar, okay, and this is the amount of creep camps on like Twisted Meadows or something. This is the amount of creep camps where you've had too much. It's about here. It's literally on the edge of pretty much having slightly too many creeps. So I might end up removing this camp here, I think, because one, you don't need that another red creep camp. And it's not technically really a red one, because I know what they're like, those creeps. They're tough, but they're not as hard as like the ones in the corners. Or the ones here, being pinged here. Which they're much harder, but that's definitely deliberate. There was a real temptation as well to add an extra couple of gold mines, but I'm one that loves lots of gold mines, but when I look at this map, I think even for 2 versus 2, that's enough gold mines. You don't need any more than that, because the idea is to keep the fight going between the players, and then the gold mines sort of dry up so it can be that kind of map. It is basically a ruined temple after all. There's not that many resources left on it. And yeah, I don't know, I like the way everything is so far on this map, and from what I've seen in the games, the only thing that's been bugging me a little bit from watching it, skink, is is the creeps a little bit. I just want to change the creeps here and there, the items that they drop, and the difficulty. As you can see, these are really tough, but there's a real good reason why these are tough. They're not super hard, you can kill them quite easily, but they're definitely a challenge. But the toughest ones probably to do are the corners. The hydras are a real pain in the butt, and they're a huge investment. So if you're going to do them, you need to basically be already winning the game, so that way you can be rewarded with doing that spot. But I made it so that you can't get any real super imbalanced items. So Luke, no, not close again. You guessed wrong. This time you're actually opposite side, so that's going to change how you're going to play a little bit. There's no sort of rushing straight through the up the higher ground, then down the lower ground. You got to kind of, you can still get to your opponent pretty quickly. Don't be fooled into thinking that the distance from here to here is super short between the distance from top to bottom. You basically just look. Watch how I'm following through here. You can go pretty much straight down to your opponent. It will take you a little bit longer, but that's what I made this a lot more accessible towards your opponent. Okay, so we've got Albert. He likes to do these corner spots here, or rather his side of the map, I call it, as it were, instead of the middle. That's the reason why I didn't put circlets on this. This will only drop level 1 permanent item, which could be Gauntlets of Strength +3. Oh, Granty actually gets it. It's a really good item for him as well. So that's really snippy from him. He's back with a vengeance. Bring down the skeleton, get justice. Did he actually get the kill on that? I think so.
A town is under siege.
Yes, and Fountains of Health. There's this, the middle of this map screams for a Fountain of Health, and I could easily put a tavern anywhere on the map and sort of make it balanced between sort of like where the players are. But I really didn't want to have a map. I don't like the Fountain of Health too much because it can really make or break a game. And whilst it can be fun, it can also be a lot of, well, it can be a lot of misery for the enemy player who doesn't get to abuse the fountain. Yes, no fountain. Screws the game up, in my opinion. Yeah. You better be trolling. Oh, Archmage trying to sneak round. Doesn't manage to fool Grunty though. Lower ground. There's too many lower ground bits, I suppose. I know what I kind of need to do there. It's because they're ramps. What's the opposite of elevate? Delevate? Basically, when you elevate the ground, I need to do the opposite. I don't need to create a ramp, because when you create a ramp, that goes down one level. And if you're on that lower level, you won't see anything above. But if you... the opposite of elevate the ground, you basically make it so that you can still see the higher ground. It just means you do dip. Okay, let's have a look what people said there for a moment. They're not too strong. They're fine. Absolutely fine. This is just like on Murgle Oasis, you have creeps like this. They're a standard creep camp to have very nearby. Not difficult at all. If I made them too easy, it would just everyone would just creep up and you'll have like level 5 heroes. So I don't like that too much. Albert looks like he's going for a tower push. So it's Albert's time to be aggressive, which could be very good since Granty looks like he's going for destroyers and he's not going to be there just yet. He's getting so confused. You better get in there and save those peasants. Oh, the Fire Lord is here to play. This seems to be a very Fire Lord heavy map. That's one thing I'm noticing. The tavern is obviously there, as mentioned previously. You can't really not have a tavern in a map nowadays, and I wouldn't want to not have a tavern because a tavern opens up lots of options in terms of how you're going to play the game as well, and what you can do, and how you can react to your opponent in what they've done. If you don't have a tavern, you may as well go back to Reign of Chaos. It limits the game. So, yes, Albert's got these towers on the outside here. It's not too pressing for Granty to deal with right now. He's still in a safe spot. He's still got this angle here. It's not going to be too powerful, to be honest. It will give Albert a standing point, but I don't think he's in... don't think he's going to win him the game, necessarily. But he hasn't got an expansion, as we noticed. Because the expansion is difficult. But the thing is one of the things that's... I mean, I guess you're seeing this in the beta stages. Because hopefully the map will be changed by then. I'll have to keep saying that. But, yeah, at the moment, some of the creeps are a bit tough. And I can maybe buff up some items a bit on certain creeps. But I don't want to change it too much. Because I don't like people just farming items on a map and ignoring the other player. I don't like that. Because, obviously... whilst the game is about sort of creeping, this has that element. You don't want them to just creep up to like level 5 or level, you know, level 5, and then that's it. Okay, I'll go attack now because I can't get any more. I can't get any more from creeping. You don't really want that. It just makes for a boring game. You want this interaction between the players that we're seeing at the moment. Wow, he's really gone all out. Workshop. Oh, that might actually work, to be honest. I'm surprised how fast that went up. It's like a fast build workshop. That could make things a lot better for Albert, having that nearby, because having that come from down below could take a while. Although he's losing his power here. But the towers have gone up now, so it gives him a lot more standing. Mortars should be pretty good here. If he could get like a priest or something as well, that'd be a nice touch. I almost suspect that Granty, if he wanted to, could go for necro wagons here because he's got the wagons out. And there's going to be many corpses, as we can see, especially from the undead base. So there's always the possibility for that. Oh, look at that. That mortar's going to have a tough time. He's going to have to keep as far back as he can, or cleverly use the ground attack ability that he has to try and get hits on the meat wagon without being in range of the Black Citadel. It's quite tough to actually full-on siege your enemy base because it's kind of protected by this middle area, but it can be attacked from either side. This side is slightly more open than the other side, so Albert's gone for a more closed-in side. That's also deliberate as well. That could change. If you wanted the more space, then you'd go and attack from this side. If you want to close yourself in so it's harder to, you can choke yourself a bit more, then yeah, you got this side.
A player's forces are under attack.
Needs to start massing those mortars before we see much more happen. Firelord just getting a dead corpse chucked at it. Doesn't seem to bother him too much. Lava spawn is going to be focused pretty quickly, I imagine, soon. He didn't actually, which is a good touch. You don't want that getting hurt. You want to get as much out of your lava spawn as possible. Bit of ground attack there from the meat wagon, I just noticed that. Black Citadel's going to be in trouble soon once these mass mortars. If Albert really wanted, this is the beautiful thing with the trees, is he could always ground attack here, around here, and sort of give himself a spot for his mortars to look, because he's got the fission of the Black Citadel. Just needs the mortars to sort of sit back here, but at the moment they're doing okay. Could potentially get away with that. Oh, DK is really committing here. Hoping to get a kill on the Firelord, and he does. He's going to just about bring back the other weak units just in time. But there's a possibility to bring down the... No, he's going to get that healing potion just to definitely make sure he doesn't die. This is quite a tricky spot for both players at the moment. But I'd say that Albert's a lot safer now. Maybe he will come through with this tower rush. I thought it might sort of buy him some time. I didn't know it was necessarily going to result in the win. I mean, it could result in the win, but it's certainly not going to win him straight off. Win the game straight off for him. Okay, so how many resources have people got? Granty's doing okay. He's not too low on wood. Albert's suffering a little bit for wood. I don't know how many peasants he's got back at home. He's got a couple of peasants, unfortunately. Not doing much because they're mis-rallied onto trees, so that's hurting him a little bit. More than he knows. This is getting tricky because these mortars are ground attacking here, so they're hitting not only the Black Citadel, they're actually hitting the cigarettes. He's actually going to lose this. There's no way he's going to react to that. Granty's now coming in from this side, and he's going to try to attack from behind. But is it going to work, or are these mortars going to have free reign now? Is that going to backfire? Oh, this isn't looking good for Granty. It's looking rather tricky, and the Archmage is very close to going down, but the heal pop pretty much does deny that hero nuke, and Granty had to sacrifice a little bit there to try and get the hero nuke down. And I think this is it now. I think Granty might be down for the count. Firelord is back, so you know the game is over. People only build the Firelord when they're basically building and making a sort of mana position, and they're being bad-mannered. It's like an insult, really. There's really not much left for Granty. He's even not got the gold mine. Oh my. It's always fun to get them to rage. And Water might go down, but I think the damage is already long done. Long done. So even from opposite side of the maps, these two are still being very aggressive, although that's obviously down to the players. Grant, he really does need to get to this point. Oh, he's going all in. This is it.
A town is under siege.
What do you mean day off? Like I have a day off. Do you not know that I work? Stupid o'clock in the morning.
A player's forces are under attack. The town is under siege.
Yes. Freaking benefit abuser. Don't mind me, I'm just sort of casually watching this now. There's not even much to really commentate at this point. It's quite obvious who's won and who's lost this. You can just watch and see the tragedy unfold. Ooh. Firelord hits level 2. That's what it's all about. But the Snarecaster is activated. Ooh, we didn't get slowed. The Archmage went down there though. That's a pretty funny finish there, if you noticed that. Okay, thank you all for watching. This has been Witty. Please subscribe, like and comment. I'll see you later.